This is bribery, this is blackmail. CBS only fired Colbert because he criticizes Trump, and they just settled a $16 million lawsuit, and then Colbert went on the air and said he doesn't trust CBS, and blah, 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 like Trump forced this. And then the stats start coming out.
Here is Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, who is this man is an absolute lunatic. Here's example 3217B.
So I want to tell you why the cancellation of Stephen Colbert's show matters so much. We are on the precipice of entering a censorship state in which Donald Trump is using the powers of the federal government in order to erase criticism from the airwaves.
Well, I suppose in your imaginary world that you live in, that's true, but this had nothing to do with Donald Trump. A network decided that a show that was purging money. Have I illustrated the point already? Do I have to repeat myself? Here's Dave Portnoy explaining what I've been explaining with, I don't know, a little more Portnoy-ish energy.
All right, I got to do a real quick rant on Stephen Colbert being fired on CBS Late Show. Everyone's still talking about it. But before we do that, I want a moment for this backdrop as I film this, all right? Because it's that spectacular. Let the color adjust, but a moment for the backdrop, please. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care, Mamdani. I don't care, Bernie. Being rich still is the best thing, and I earned it. Anyways, on to this rant. So I run a media company, obviously, Barstool. So this kind of hit home with me. I'm seeing like Bernie Sanders, Comrade Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, all being like, we need an investigation. This is bribery. This is blackmail. CBS only fired Colbert because he criticizes Trump, and they just settled a $16 million lawsuit, and then Colbert went on the air and said he doesn't trust CBS, and blah, 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 like Trump forced this. And then the stats start coming out. Colbert makes $16 million a year. The Late Show with Colbert loses $40 to $50 million a year. They have a staff of 200 people. Late night ratings are down across the board. He's still got the best ratings of like him, Kimmel, and Fallon, but across the board, they're down. But for these people, including like Colbert, to be like, this isn't really right, that we're blindsided, buddy, you're losing $40 million a year. You have 200 people creating one show. Like, welcome to the real world. Trump's happy. And what did you think was going to happen? Of course they'd fire. I'd fire you in a heartbeat. That's not politics. That's just being ungrateful, and see you later.
Yeah, that's right. I'd fire you in an effing heartbeat. That's right. No one that is, at the end of the day, what is the purpose of having any job? Literally any job. It is to provide some sort of value for the place that you work. And then at the end of the year, a functional place looks at the numbers and they go, we pay this person X, is he providing enough of those services that it is worth keeping this person? So whether Donald Trump is happy or not, and by the way, even though Trump is happy, like we're going to read some of his Truth Social posts, but even though he's happy to some extent, like a guy who just lies about him and lies about the vax and everything else is disappearing, you might argue that Trump isn't as happy because Trump likes when there's just general craziness around him, right? He likes some of that kind of stuff. So I don't know that this is long-term great for Trump, but at the end of the day, the network executives, like the guys that are sitting in the boardroom making those decisions, they make business decisions, like the people that are in charge of Viacom, the people that are in charge of Comcast, whatever corporations are out there. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the money. If Colbert right now had the budget of $100 million with his 200 million people and the 16 mil he makes per year, if he was making them $20 million a year, $10 million a year, $5 million a year, he'd probably still have a job right now, but he was losing them $40 million a year. That ain't easy.